Picture an agony so absolute that legends claim no man could remain silent. Imagine staying conscious while your own flesh is turned against you. The Old Norse warriors had a name for this. They called it blodurn, the blood eagle. Historians often call it the cruelest method of execution ever devised. It was not mere torment, it was something deeper, a ritual tied to worship, a sacrifice meant for Odin. But it also served as a weapon of terror against the enemies of the North. For hundreds of years, this story has been retold. We have seen it in modern TV series, and we have read it in the old sagas. Yet, one grim question lingers. Would the blood eagle actually work on a living body? Could a human being possibly survive long enough to see it finished? Or is it just a tale, a dark legend invented to frighten the Christians? Right now, let's dig into the old records and the biological facts. We will look at how the ribs break, how the lungs react, and what true agony feels like. Step by step, we will follow the trail left by Ivar the Boneless, and we will see whether the Norse raiders actually designed an end more terrifying than death itself. To grasp the blood eagle, you must first understand the men said to carry it out. The Vikings lived by their reputation. Back then, death wasn't the thing they feared most. Dishonor was. To die in bed felt like failure. To die empty-handed, just as bad. But to be captured and to be unmade, that was a nightmare beyond comprehension. Their faith wasn't calm or gentle. Their god stood for battle and strength. Odin, the All-Father, ruled over madness, poetry, and death. He demanded offerings. Experts believe the blood eagle went beyond mere pain. It served as a sacred act sent to Odin, marking a victory unlike any other. But here's the twist. Psychological warfare played a massive role. Imagine you're a king in England around 860 AD. Word spreads that a massive pagan force has hit the coast. You hear rumors that they don't just kill their enemies, they turn men into birds. That dread, the myth of the blood eagle, hit harder than steel. Entire armies surrendered before the shields even clashed. Yet, for one specific Norse family, this wasn't about power. It was personal. They wanted payback. And that leads straight to history's most famous execution, the death of King Aelle. The tale starts with the legendary warrior Ragnar Lothbrok. In the Old Norse stories, Ragnar raided Northumbria in England, but the raid failed. He was captured by King Aelle. The king aimed to punish this heathen raider. Instead of a clean death, he threw him into a pit of venomous snakes. As the poison burned through his veins, Ragnar screamed one final warning, how the little piglets would grunt if they knew how the old boar suffers. He was the old boar. His sons were the piglets. Ivar the Boneless, Bjorn Ironside, Sigurd, Snake in the Eye. When word arrived of their father's fate, there were no tears, only blades being sharpened. A massive fleet gathered, the great heathen army. They stormed England not for treasure, but for blood. They wanted King Aelle. In 867, the Vikings took York. After seizing King Aelle alive, Ivar, ruthless and brilliant, ruled out a quick death for his father's killer. Instead, he commanded the blood eagle. This was the moment history changed. A king of England, anointed by God, was about to be subjected to the ultimate pagan ritual. But what exactly happened to him? Warning, the following describes anatomy in a raw, graphic way. If we look at the old writings, like the Orkneyinga saga, we can piece together the procedure. It was not fast. It was surgery performed without anesthesia. Stage 1. The position. The victim lay face down, flat on his belly. His arms and legs were fastened to stakes in the dirt or stretched across a stone. This locked the chest and spine in place. The skin of the back was waiting. Stage 2. The cut. The executioner would take a long, razor-sharp knife. He would slice the skin along the backbone, from the shoulder blades all the way down to the tailbone. But the spinal cord had to stay intact. That part mattered. Most, if the cord was severed, the prisoner might black out, or worse, die too early. They needed him awake. Stage 3. The separation. This is the part that horrifies modern medicine. Using an axe or a specialized tool, the executioner chopped each rib loose from the backbone, each one cracked separately. Click, click, click. Then they yanked the bones outward, forcing them to spread wide, resembling the wings of a bird. Stage 4. The lungs. With the chest cavity open, the killer reached inside. He slowly dragged the lungs out through the opening in the back. As the victim gasped for air, the organs would inflate and deflate outside the skin. To the Vikings watching, the movement looked like wings beating, a bloodied bird struggling to take flight. Scientifically, could someone live through this? Experts today have analyzed it. The shock alone would likely stop a heart when the bones snapped. As soon as the rib cage collapsed, air couldn't reach the lungs. Still, if the executioner was careful, if he spared the main arteries, the victim might remain conscious during those initial moments, just long enough to feel the wings spreading. But here's where things get tricky. Did this really happen? Or was it lost in translation? Many modern experts think the blood eagle comes from a misunderstood poem. A single line says, Ivar had an eagle carved on Aelle's back. Some scholars think this simply meant they carved a picture of an eagle on his skin after he died. Or perhaps they left his body for the birds to eat. Some argue that Christian monks exaggerated the violence centuries later, painting the Vikings as demons. It's classic propaganda. To rally England against outsiders, you don't call them warriors. You call them monsters who turn humans into birds. However, archaeologists have found mass graves. Some skeletons show cuts slicing through the rib bones. The debate continues. But in a way, it doesn't matter if it was physically real, because the belief in it was real. True or myth, the blood eagle served its purpose. It cemented the Vikings' reputation as the terrors of the North. It shows us how grim human nature can be. When someone wants revenge, there is no limit to their creativity for cruelty. So the next time you hear a raven screech or spot an eagle soaring high, think of King Aelle, think about the ribs, and remember the price of crossing the sons of Ragnar. If you want to uncover more dark truths from history, click the video on your screen right now. I'll see you there.